In this video, I pose with my new gigantic saw and promptly use it to smash a sawhorse. And with the incompetence out of the way, I can get into building the bench top with these incredible quarter sawn silver maple slabs that Matt Cremona gave me. Now he is going to be selling these. He's got 2 pre-orders for fall and winter, I think, on his website. There's a link in the description that gives the dates and the details. He's doing a limited run of each of these. And I think they're about halfway sold out as I'm doing this voiceover. So if you're interested in having a bench top that doesn't take as long to build and looks a whole lot better and is just really cool, these slabs are definitely the way to go. So check that out. There's also a link to his video where he's talking about the milling process in detail, and you can really get a sense of why they cost what they do when you watch this video. Even if you're not interested, check it out. It's really cool process. So thanks, Matt, for letting me be a part of this, and good luck with your launch, and let's get into the build. So what you're seeing me do right here is deal with the twist and cup that results from skip planing boards. Skip planing means go directly with rough sawn lumber to the planer. So I like taking care of this by hand, and I talk more about that in this video that should be popping up right now if you're curious. But with these dimensioned and thicknessed and flat, I can move on to the next step of this build. And for that, I use my new big giant handsaw again to rip cut an edge square, and this time a little bit smart about the offcut. So with thickness and width taken care of, I can now start removing the material I need to recess in the metal base to the wood tops. So I test the fit with an offcut piece of steel that's the same size as the steel that's going to have to be housed in this recess that I'm making, and it doesn't quite fit yet, so I sneak up on that perfect fit with a rabbet block plane. That's the plane with the blade that goes all the way to the edge. I could use a router for this, but honestly it's more fun to use hand tools. It's just kind of a more relaxing process than a loud, dusty router where I need to have guides and everything perfect, and with a router, if I have too tight of a fit, I can't just take one more shaving off. I need to do a fine adjustment of the fence and another cut, and it's just a process I don't enjoy as much. And as you can see, I got there with hand tools and enjoyed it, so that's what I did. Now when I welded the threaded pipes onto the inside of the frame that are going to anchor the bolts that hold the top slabs to the frame, I didn't try to get them located perfectly because I knew that I was just going to use dowel centers to locate the right points to drill into the bench slabs. So that's what I'm doing here. I just get everything in place, make sure the frame is clamped up square and everything is the way I want it to be, and then press the slab into those dowel points to get the locations where I need to drill. And to drill these holes, I'm going to use Rockler's new portable drill guide that is very well made and much better than the cheap ones that are currently on the market, like the one I used on my last workbench that drove me crazy. This is something that I've felt has been missing on the market. Really well built drill guide. It's something that I felt that I'd be willing to spend some more money on if it was available, and was actually thinking, you know, maybe I could work on this product, but I don't have to anymore. Rockler did a great job with this. It'll really be indispensable when I'm making the dog holes for the bench, because there's no way to get those under a drill press. I actually can and do get the slabs under the drill press at this point, but I wanted to show this off. There's a link in the description for Rockler's sale page for it, and for the vise, the centering vise that goes with it. So very cool product. Nice job, Rockler. You really did a good job with this one. Now I don't have a 3/4 inch bit that reaches all the way through the bench, and even if I did, it would wander, so it probably wouldn't be a good idea to drill it from just one side. So I drill from each side on the drill press to connect and get all the way through the slab. And this is what happens when you go too fast and get the bit jammed, but you know, got through it and finished it up. Now, of course, when you do this, drill from both sides and hope for them to connect. It never works out perfectly, no matter how much you screw around with your drill press table trying to get it perfectly square. So I just planned on coming back with a slightly larger bit. This is a 49/64 bit, so an extra 64th of an inch, and just drilled through from each side by hand just to try to get them to connect up good enough. And this worked for most of them. A couple of them I had to drill out even a little bit more. You plan on fiddling with an operation like this, I don't know if there's any better way to do it than this, so it's fine. I got it to work. So at this point I can get the slab in place on the bench so that the front is flush up against the front piece of metal from the base that needs to be recessed into it. I can make those marks to get really perfect fit with that metal front. And this time I was a little bit smarter and I used the table saw to remove the material behind that slot that I need to cut, so that I don't need to use a router and I can just have a hand tool operation after that table saw cut. That's really pretty fast to get all that material removed. Now on the inside of the slabs, on either side, right next to the split top opening in the middle, there's really nothing holding the slabs down at that point. So I drill and tap holes that will accept some screws from the bottom of the bench, just to make sure that the middles of the bench are secure. Without these in, if you kind of hammer on the middle of the bench, you can feel a little bit of vibration because they're not anchored from the center. So definitely important with this design. And with that done, I can get this together, and although it's far from finished, it's really looking like a bench now. I'm not going to cut it to length until after I flatten the top, which I'll do in the next video before I work on the dog holes. So that's why it still has the rough ends, but I still couldn't resist hitting it with some mineral spirits and just showing you what it's going to look like. These slabs, oh man, this is going to be one good looking bench. I really am excited about seeing the finished product, and it's fun just to show the progress and what it's looking like right now. So I hope you enjoyed this build. Thanks as always for watching. I'll catch you next time.